R&B Money. We up. Thanks. Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast.
Yeah.
The authority on all things R&B.
What we doing, man?
Oh, we betting on ourselves today.
Yes, we are.
We know this shit from top to bottom.
Yeah. We going back to
They are. I'm sick of this shit. You can't own me.
Yeah.
You can't hold me back.
Yeah.
We don't ball from the stove.
How you want to ball from the stove? If you want to get it, you got to come get it from me.
Come
In
on.
the backyard.
In the back, motherfucking God. Ladies and gentlemen, in the building. LaRussell in the building. Ooh.
Come on. Yeah.
LaRussell, I'm going to always say LaRussell. I know people be trying to shorten your name, but your name has some equity on it. So I'm going to say LaRussell the whole time we're here, if you don't mind.
Come on.
LaRussell, before I knew who you were and what you were, I would hear you speak about what you were on, what people should be on. I had never connected the two, that you were an artist. I'm not going to call you a rapper because I heard your vibrato. Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
So you with us too.
Yeah. He be singing this shit.
Hey,
He be singing this shit.
You with us too, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They can't have you. You know what I'm saying? Before I was even privy to that, I was privy to the information that you were giving out.
Yeah.
That's what crossed my algorithm first
Fire.
while I was scrolling. And I was like, this young nigga talking that talk.
Yeah.
And it would always come by that way. It wasn't until it was like, well, we getting them on. We getting them. Oh, I gotta jump down this rabbit hole and make sure I understand who in the fuck's this nigga. And then it got way different.
Yeah.
Because it was like the information and the artistry are at an elite level.
Come on. Come on.
Yes, sir.
It's fucking scary.
You know, that's hella beautiful you said that, because I had set a goal to music isn't my forefront. Every meeting I used to have, I used to be like, my goal is to make LaRussell as big as possible. I don't care if somebody just likes to hear me speak. They don't have to ever listen to a song. I just want them to embrace and respect LaRussell. And we get so many people who like, man, I never heard the music. I just seen this. And it's like, that's the beauty of it, because that connects at a level. Everybody might not like a song, but if you say some real shit, it ain't no beat and rhythm to that. Anybody can ingest some real shit.
That's universal.
Life is universal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like for me, like, and Jay is, you guys share a, you share. You share an area.
Yeah.
You know we do.
Go down.
Oh, shit.
Dog on my feet. Got my white tee and my stunners on. Yeah.
Hold on. I had a moment, right? Because when I went to, he had a birthday party in the Bay. Legendary birthday party. And we all on stage. And I don't know who it was that started rapping.
San Quinn
started rapping.
Legendary.
He did the hard way.
And they started getting low.
Dun,
And
dun,
they said,
dun, dun.
I didn't know what it was, but I felt like I needed to be involved.
Yeah.
And I had to have it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what the fuck is this nigga doing?
Yeah.
I gotta have it.
It get in your body. But
I said, oh. So y'all share that, right? And Jay is, I'm gonna allow Jay and you guys' nuance to really tackle this thing the right way, because there's a lot of soil attached to it that you guys can speak to. But I'm gonna tell you, for a lot of this, I'm gonna be the why guy, because I want the nuance from inception to idea to consult to application.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to, cause you got to think, like, I'm 48 years old. I've been in this business since I was 17. Him 9.
Yeah.
And the music business has changed in such a way.
Man. It's not the same at all.
We never dreamed possible.
But you go on an app and see, oh, so I made $1,000 today? I made
Right.
$2 today.
Right.
I made $1. No.
Direct to
No.
consumer
No.
Yeah.
was literally door to door.
Out the
literally
Right.
knocking on your door.
Out the trunk.
Cash Money, Master P and them,
E40.
the trunk, E40 them.
Too short.
The trunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now you are processing this shit
Yeah.
like a supercomputer in a way that is like, it's the coolest shit I've ever seen. Because I love when my niggas get it, and then I love when my niggas get it.
Yeah.
Right?
So we embrace it. We don't fight it at all. We're not those guys. Oh, that new music business or all that. Man, tell us what's going on.
Come on.
So we can be a part of it, so we can understand it, so that we can continue to grow in it. And that's why it's so important for you to be here today. Because you literally are a poster boy as a grown man, but you know what I'm saying when I say that, for this whole thing, man. Like, it's so many people who talk about it. They don't actually live it.
Yeah.
And you live it, bro.
Yeah.
In all aspects. And before we even get into the journey, we just want to say congratulations.
Gratitude.
You know what I'm saying? For really sticking in there. This shit is not easy. It is not easy. We know.
Yeah.
From all levels of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy, and most people give up, and most people just, they may take the easier route.
Yeah.
So let's start, man. Let's start in Vallejo.
Yeah.
Let's start there, man. We know what the soil is, and just even the background of Vallejo, right? Because I understand that it's, at times a forgotten city in the Bay. You know what I mean? Like y'all city has had some tough times. So for you to kind of rise up out of that, and also to give more hope, because there were pockets of time too, from the E40 and the Click, to the Mac Dre, to the SOB and RBE. SOB RBE.
Oh, you know something.
Her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but there were pockets though where it went up, then it got quiet. Then it went up a little bit more, then it got a little violent. You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of give me your layout and your understanding of it, and also being a young man who came up through the hyphy movement. Yeah. Like, that was your adolescence. Yeah. You really grew up on it. Like, nigga, you just saying go dumb. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Most people gonna sing I'm Sprung around the world, but if you from the Bay,
that's your I'm Sprung.
Yeah.
You going straight to it. So, give us that, man.
Man, that really is it. Like, that lineage you just said, including Nefta Pharaoh. Nefta Pharaoh played a major part. He was another that brought a big light back to the city. But just like Vallejo is in the Bay Area, there's like a bunch of cities, but there's staples that really played a part in the culture of what the Bay Area is received as. Yeah. And if you remove a Vallejo, you lose so much culture. The way we talk,
gang of it.
Dre and 40, like our lingo, that's Dre and 40, curated. So the way we dance,
and I forgot
everybody in the Bay.
Mac Mall.
Yep.
I cannot.
Wide open.
Yes.
But it's like, if you from the Bay, you dance like Dre. Yeah. When you hear, it's a certain lineage that would just pass through Vallejo. It plays such a pivotal part in the culture, and like being able to grow up in the heart of it, different. Like I've been able to I feel like I've been able to revolutionize hyphy in a way that the world is able to consume it without the judgment it used to have. Like some people used to be like, even still, people like, man, hyphy music, we don't want to hear that no more. But I go all over the world and I'm on Tiny Desk like this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because that energy and that beat that we live by, it's like you said, you was there and you had to. It's contagious. Yeah. And I've been able to package it and bring that contagion across the world and get other people to see it and feel it. So where people fly in from different countries to the backyard in a V. To Vallejo. That's crazy. People ain't never flew into Vallejo for nothing. Right. Maybe Marine World.
You gotta take a trip. You get off the plane and you gotta drive. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's no airport there.
What you mean? How far is Vallejo from
So from San Francisco, Vallejo is what, 40 minutes?
45, 50, yep. Yeah. And then Oakland, 35.
With no traffic.
Yeah. With no traffic. And then you're going to a city that has nothing else there. So if you're going to Vallejo, it's for a very specific cause. Yes. It's not like Frisco where it's like, I'll just go to the pier and travel.
And do all the
ain't no sightseeing in the V. Maybe Mare Island, but it ain't, it ain't no sightseeing in the V.
To your house.
They come into the crib. They come into the crib.
Yeah. What made you say, I'm going to do it in my backyard?
I was throwing a show in Oakland at New Parish.
Okay.
And it was my first time doing like Proud to Pay, where I was like, I'm gonna let people pay at the door and just see what they pay, right? And the owner calls me the day before or earlier that day, and he was like, I don't know about this. I'm taking a risk with you and this. Just hella negative energy.
Right.
Because it was new for him. He didn't know, and he's older, he's a white guy, he didn't get it. And it just like threw me off to have somebody be able to pour that in my pot. Like before a show, it just made me like, bro, I don't want to do nothing there. And it was a successful show. It succeeded. Now it's funny because I got a golden pass in New Pair. I just call and say I want this date and I'm in. Yeah. But he's the reason I was like, I'll never go through that again. I'm building my own venue.
But the venue became
my backyard.
Your parents'
That's
house.
all I had. That's what I had. I used what I had.
Hey man, shout out to the first investors. We always got to shout out the parents.
On Jehovah.
Because
I don't know if I'm letting Deuce throw a concert in the backyard of my house.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
The concert.
The concert.
And it was the I think the key line that you just said was, it was all I had.
Yeah.
So it's these we're gonna work with what we got that turn into these unconscious genius moments where it's like now it's like, I want to do a concert in my backyard.
Yeah.
Now everybody want to do something in their backyard.
Your wife is not gonna let you do it.
It changed
She not.
everything.
It
changed everything.
How many people have you
Yeah.
seen now copying this nuance?
Being inspired.
Because they starting to get it. It's like we've been, as artists, we own maybe 1% of the infrastructure we have to use to thrive. As artists, your whole career, you got to do shows, but you don't own no venues. Yeah. You don't own no booking agencies. You don't own no promotion companies. As an artist, you got to do marketing. You don't own no digital marketing. You don't own no ad agencies. You don't own no seeding companies. You don't own no playlists. As an artist, you got to travel. You don't own no Sprinter van. You don't own no SUV, no truck. As an artist, there's so many things you got to do in your career, and we don't have the infrastructure to actually do it. We got to go ask somebody else to do it every time we want to do it. How am I selling out this venue, but I got to ask you to use it? It don't make no sense. It's literally like all the infrastructure that we use to thrive as artists, we should have access to like this. My backyard was that for me. It was a money tree.
Yeah.
I could wake up any day. The backyard became so fruitful that I rehearse every day. I usually rehearse every single day, right? So some days I was like, man, I'm going to get paid to rehearse today. I'm going to do an open rehearsal. Hey, it's tickets online right now. I'm starting at 2. 100 tickets gone like that.
Yeah.
I get paid to rehearse.
I love it.
How many people get paid to practice? Only if you go to the NBA.
Right.
Not artists. Right. Most artists don't even practice. Let alone.
I'm not gonna go there with you. I'm not gonna get into this shit.
You feel me? But it's like I made it to where it's like I could
stare at him when you say that.
There's some. Oh my God, boy! If I could tell you,
Hey,
He be so mad, niggas don't want to.
oh, I be upset. I be at shows like this.
That's not rehearsed.
What are we doing? Even if it's like not rehearsed, because my show, I don't have a rehearsed set. I don't have any type of set, but I practice so much, it don't need it.
You have pieces that can go anywhere.
The plays are set.
The puzzle can go.
Yeah.
You can play it.
If they move here, I can go here. If they move here, I can go here.
It's called counters. It's called counters. And anything else is called a counter. It's like, oh, you stopped that move. Oh, somebody failed.
I'm spinning.
Oh, I'm spinning through it. Whatever it is, but it's because it's been rehearsed. Because it's been practiced.
We made those moments monetizable to where it's like, bro, I get paid to rehearse if I want to because I own my own infrastructure.
Oh, that's great.
You know how many people want to see a and the dope thing is like the shows are great.
You said you know how many people want to see. Yeah. Nigga.
The shows are great, but the rehearsal was more intimate because it's just us here. It might be only a few people, and it's like, what you trying to hear?
Right.
Hey, you hear about my mom coming out? Hey, you want to hit them? You want to go? What you need? You in it. That's a different experience than a show with 400, 500, 1,000 people. So some people pay more for a rehearsal because it's like, man, I'm gonna get to chill. I had some people come to rehearsal who like, hey, we got a venue, we got a spot. Now we connected. Oh, I'm finna go do y'all.
I'm gonna pull up on y'all shit. But the other thing that for me that sticks out too is the new world of entertainment. Him and I came up in this world where everything had to be quote unquote perfect, quote unquote curated. You didn't even see female artists without makeup on. Did you ever think about that?
I never thought about that.
Crazy.
Think about when we grew up, bro.
It
never
was a standard
seen
to have a beat face, hair the
every
whole
time
night.
because that's how it was presented to us, right? That's cool, but that's not real. That's not authentic. And the things that you are talking about now are real and authentic. People like to see fuck up sometimes.
The stripped down.
Like, yo, nigga, I missed that note. It was funny when I was watching y'all Tiny Desk. It was a couple like where young fella rapping and he was like, and he laughed it off because the truth of the matter is that's real, bro.
Yes.
You're gonna fuck up sometime.
We missed them notes because we hit so many. Yeah. We shoot so many. I can't make them all.
You can't.
And that's the thing. Hold up. Yeah. Yeah.
You nice with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We missed them notes because we hit so many. Oh
man, they was selling perception then, and that's what I learned. Like I tell everybody, when I was a kid, I didn't think that like you could be successful or a star. I thought Snoop Dogg was like a character. Like I'm like, yeah, I see him, but I never thought
Snoop Dogg is still a character though.
But I'm saying, I never thought in real life, like, no, that's a person, a human who grew up like this with a family like this, and he became this because he did the work. That don't ever hit you because you don't actually see that part.
Presented
that's why we show it. Man, I be in the middle of a show and I slip words and I tell the crowd, hey, throw me something. I don't care about the judgment because it's like, you can't do what I'm up here doing.
That easy.
It don't matter if I miss a shot. I'm doing something that most of the population cannot do.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to go to the why. Here's one of my whys. You're working this job. Where were you working when you decided to quit?
I was working at an aerospace plant.
A what?
An aerospace plant.
What were you doing at the aerospace plant?
So I got there through a temp agency, and I started off in production on the floor doing like packaging and just like making sure product go out. And then I like learned everything, the systems and the standards, and I was able to move up to do like contracts and admin. I was like one of the first people on that floor that didn't have a degree because somebody believed in me and seen like my potential and was like, man, you will thrive up here. And I was thriving up there. When I was on the floor there, I did something that changed the trajectory of the company and didn't even realize my own value and worth then because I was just working, but I was at the aerospace plant and that was my last job.
Why? Why do you say you're in this job, you're flourishing, you're in a space that you are underqualified for, but just based on your work ethic and your thought process, you qualify yourself, and then you say, "This is cool, but this ain't it."
I was unfulfilled. I was unfulfilled. I was so good at what I did. I used to spend my time there working on everything at home. building my PR list, getting email, gathering everything I needed, going through venues, getting Booker Day. So because I was done with my work there, I'd be working on all of my stuff. And it got to a point to where it was like, I don't even want to do this on y'all time. I need to be home so I can get everything done I need to get. I'm giving y'all 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours of my day, and I'm losing 12 hours for myself. I'd rather not get paid for these 12 and be able to put it all in here and eventually get paid on the back end from my own work.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Because you take that financial dip,
Right,
losing those 12 hours to bet on that back end.
at this point, are you still at your parents' crib?
Yep.
You still staying at the crib too?
Yep. That's what made it even easier
easier.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, man, I got
Yeah.
my parents and I got the support, but it was like, I still had to go hustle and get my paper to build. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
we working people,
of
everyday
course.
people. So it's like when I quit, we had like a tax return check. And I kind of like ran through that, building, and one of the HR agents from my last job hit me and was like, hey, you know you got like some 401k left. You might need it on your journey. It was like the universe dropping it in me.
Journey.
And I end up getting a check, and it was like, man, that took me even further, and I started being able to do more shows. I used to film and do production for different companies, and eventually I got to the point where I was like, I can't even do that no more because I'm unfulfilled. I don't want to get paid to do anything I don't love to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, and as I start grinding more, shows come and I get a little more. And as you go low, like there was a point I went and applied for another job and I got the interview and I ended up getting the job and I just didn't take it. But I was like hurting. I'm like, I got to go back to work. And then COVID hit and, you know,
Yeah, you got cracked.
COVID had some money coming in.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we're going to build through this. So through that process, I kept building. I built my whole company during COVID. We started doing live sessions. I had a little shop my homie was renting. I had everybody in there doing live sessions. Like you probably seen one go viral back then and didn't know it was us.
Right.
I was behind a lot of artists going viral from the region just through our live sessions. We ended up losing that shop. I came back to the crib and my mom was like, man, y'all should just use the garage. We turned my whole garage around and started shooting more live sessions. I had more people go viral and it just started growing. And then 2021, I ended up having a viral moment. And it just, since then, it's been up. We ain't stopped.
How long have y'all been in that house?
Since I was like 4 or 5. So since like 98, 99. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you consciously, when you quit your job and you need more time for what you're building, at this point, are you consciously thinking independence, or are you thinking, let me build this up to see who notices and we'll figure out some type of strategic partner along the way? Are you
Yeah.
at this point thinking, nah, this is...
I wasn't thinking that far into it. I was just waking up every day and doing the work, and I knew eventually something would come of it. But I was never thinking like, man, maybe I'll get signed, maybe I'll go indie. I end up being indie off just necessity. Like I didn't have no one who was trying to sign me, and I needed infrastructure, so I start building it all. And as you start building these platforms and catching attention, then people start coming to you, and you like, you know, one of my first offers was for like $10,000, and at that point, I was already going viral and moving. So it's like I got $10,000. That's not gonna really help me, but it may have helped me if someone would have explained to me like, yeah, it's not really about the money. If we can give you this marketing and this digital, we might be able to help you make fit. But nobody gave me that, you know.
Just heard the number.
I just heard the number and it was like, that's not what I'm worth, you know. And you don't realize until you get older that like there's no amount of money that you're worth. You know, when you a certain caliber and shaker, it ain't no amount of money that you're actually worth, because you're going to always exceed that number.
Right. You're doing things that may lead to something else. And that's I think that's the thing, like you said. And it's information, because nobody gave you that information at that time to say, hey, this could lead to this. Like you said, I may need more marketing. I may need promotion in this space. And this $10,000 is really just to kind of put on top of the deal, so I have a couple dollars in my pocket, more so than somebody coming to you and say, "Oh, you worth is $10,000." No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying, "I'm willing to put up some bread to sweeten the pot to just show you I'm interested and bring you into everything else I'm trying to do to help you scale your business." But you never get all
that info in this game. You know,
right.
It's very seldom.
Until later, or until you read up on it.
Right, until I got on-the-job training. I had to learn how to market, how to run ads, how to seed, what the seeding platforms was, how to start your own platform and distribute it, how to monetize your content, where to go collect your royalties, what's a pub deal, what's a pub admin deal. These are all things I had to learn on the job.
So were you was there certain literature, certain books you were reading? I mean, like, how were you gathering this information? Just so for the new artists that's looking at this interview now, and it's like, I want to try to find these things. I mean, obviously, you can always Google everything for sure, but for you personally, like you said, it was on the job training. Were there places that you went specifically to get this information?
My inception into it, I had got 2 books. The New Music Business by Ari Hurstan, and I think it was like Music Business 101, Everything You Need to Know by Donald S. Passman. Those 2 books taught me so much about touring, legal, deals, publishing, everything. They put everything in those books that you need to know to start, and then everything else you get, you have to go do some work so you understand it.
Right,
you know, because you can only read about so much before you got to go actually shoot a shot. You can read all day about this, but you go shoot them, and then you start learning more and more. But those 2 books really like set my path. And when I met Tieta, when she was like, man, I want to help you build, the first thing I did was gave her those 2 books. I said, if you're serious, you will read both of these and highlight anything that you don't understand.
That's real. Do you still go back to those books for context? Like, or just like, you know, just to make sure, like, okay, like, you know what? Let me go back and just see. Or is it something that you...
because I've superseded information that was relevant at that time. We're in a whole new industry, and I operate in a new industry that I've really helped cultivate as well. So it's seldom I go back because it's a completely different space now. But just recently, I went back because I was you know, I throw my own shows. All of my shows, I throw myself. And, you know, we do deals every now and then, but I do my shit. And I be in a space sometimes when you meeting with the Live Nations and the AGs so much, you start to forget, like, the bases. When you meeting with the industry in general, you start to think about their rules and forget the bases. And the other day, I had went back to Indie on the Move. Any artists out there, if you booking and you want your own shows, indieonthemove.com. It's a database of every venue and all their bookers and all their contacts, everything you need to know. And I just went back for the cities that was like, okay, I'm gonna go hit these cities. Right. And it just reminded me of the repertoire that's available for me to use as an independent artist. You never need the industry.
No, you can do it on your own.
Everything there.
But now, okay, because I don't want to gloss over it. I don't want to make it seem like it was always sweet, right? Like let's talk about these first shows.
Yeah. Right.
Like, because some people would think, well, LaRussell said he could just get 100 people to show up to his rehearsal. Well, most of y'all can't get 100 people to go nowhere.
Right. 100 people don't sound like a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Until you need the 100 people. And
yeah.
then you realize, like, okay, 3 showed up. How do I get the other 97? Because I didn't promise somebody. But
man,
your first kickoffs, right?
Yeah.
Was it just you and the homies? Was it just your friends showing up? Like, how did that go for you? And did you take L's?
Crazy thing, my very first show, I had released my first album in 2018, and it started moving around the city, and it just gave me this crazy confidence. I was like, I could do a show. And it was my first time getting a venue and everything. So I went to a local theater and I rented out the venue. It was a 300 cap, and I just felt so confident.
How much was the venue?
$3,000.
$3,000 for
me
300 caps.
Me and my pops pieced up on it. We went half and half.
So let's talk about the numbers in that.
Yeah.
For you to make that back
on 300 tickets, I'd have to at least do $10 a head just to cover that basis.
Just to cover,
right?
Okay, so we there,
right? So we end up doing that show. Probably about 80 people came.
Okay.
And that was real. We was guerrilla marketing. We out handing tickets. We putting posters up. And it just showed me. That was my first time ever performing too. I remember coming off the stage and people was like, man, how long you been doing shows? And I'm like, this is my first show. It was just me.
Yeah.
I never really did like a bunch of support acts or anything. Beyond my homies, we all like share the stage, but it was always me. And we killed the show. And I I didn't even leave on like man, I didn't sell it out. It was a high for me. It was like, man, I want to do this again. I know I could get bigger. I didn't really, you start experiencing that low when you start trying to go to the other cities. Like when I decided to go to Sac, and it's like, man, there's only 9 people here. And then I go to Frisco and it's like, it's more of us than people in the crowd. Man, I remember that Frisco show, the 5 people at the show. I had rented a Sprinter van and everything to get the team there and all that. And I remember the owner, not the owner, but the booker for Brook and Mortar, he was like, man, we'll strike a deal together. I remember going to him after the show. I'm like, man, how much I owe you? He said, bro, don't even worry about it. It's like, bro, it ain't, you can't know me if you wanted to owe me, you know, but he still believed in me after that. But I remember being backstage and I was hurt. And the team was back there and they was like, man, you just go out and give it. It's all right, don't worry about it. And I gave the best show ever that night. And recently I just went back to that venue. We sell that venue out in like nothing now. Yeah. And one of the ladies that was at that show was one there and was like, I was one of the 5.
That's dope.
Crazy.
That's dope. we got a name for those type of shows. I ain't gonna
right.
Say the name.
And those shows are so beautiful because it's like it humbles you and just reminds you of like you have to earn support.
Yeah.
You know, I got to a point where I thought I could just announce something and post a flyer and it's going to be sold out. Yeah. No, do what you did for your first show when it meant something to you. Yeah. Still go out there and move them tickets and run them ads and tell people about it. I be telling the homies, like, if you not excited about the show, I'm not excited about the show. Yeah. You can't just go to the point and post a flyer and it's just cool. Like, have that enthusiasm about your own work. And I learned, it taught me, like, no, you got to get out there and market if you want people's support. No one just has to show up for you at any level in your career.
Yeah.
That's real. How long were your sets?
I go like
I'm talking about when you first started though. Like
then,
if it's 5 people in the crowd, are you like, all right, man, well, we're gonna do
cut this down.
I think then I still went an hour. My very first show was an hour plus. That's my
you doing the whole album.
Yeah.
If you doing the whole album,
I'm doing that. Hey,
you got skits. You doing everything.
Well, since we here,
I make sure nobody ever leave feeling like, man, that was a waste of my time and money.
Yeah,
ever. Yeah. You gonna leave my show feeling like you didn't pay me enough.
Yeah, I'm definitely aware 2 or 3 are gathered.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take my shirt off. I'm gonna gyrate my hips. I don't care how many people we gonna cook.
Come on.
When we did the New Edition tour.
Yeah.
They was like, we want you to open. I said, open?
Yeah.
Like, open the doors?
Yeah.
I ain't open in over a decade. I said, you know what? Let's get it.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I fucked them seats up.
For the love of the game.
When I say I fucked them ushers and them seats enjoyed us. Now his shit was cool because by the time he came out during my show, it was people in the building. He came out in the back end of the show.
Feeling good too.
I done already worked to get at least 4,000 people in there. And now he walk out and they screaming and shit like this motherfucker right here.
And that's the beauty of them moments. It just teach you. It's like paper. Like if somebody give you $10 and you do what you need to do with that 10. You could turn it to 20.
I believe it.
You do what you need to do with that 20, it turned to 40. So it's like it start with 5, but that's never the end point. As long as you do what you need to do, that 5 always gonna come back. Reciprocity.
Right.
And it's a testament to how much you really love this. Because what I'm finding is there are a lot of quote unquote artists.
It's niggas who
don't
leave.
love it.
If it's only 5 people in the crowd, it's some niggas who won't perform. They blame the crowd.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild too. Or they blame the promoter, or they blame everything so they don't have to go and do something that they consider a job. You left the job to go after what you loved. And if you really love this, you will have success in it. At whatever level. Everybody's level of success is different.
Right.
But the true love for it, something positive always comes out of love. It's just what it is. And like I was saying, I think that as I've been in this music industry a really long time, I don't see as many artists that love it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I've had those backstage conversations and I'm looking at the artists who I consider to be successful in that space talk about it as if this is not something they get to do for a living that is a blessing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's because the labels convince people and the people convince people like music is in a product phase. Like how many niggas you know sold crack that love crack? It's just the product that they push. You feel me? And that's what music has become. It's like, this is how I make my living. It's the product I push. So it's like deteriorated because we've allowed people to make money in it without being passionate about it or without having that love or without even having to do all the steps it usually takes. Like you can't get to the NBA if you suck, but you can make it in music if you do.
Yes.
Right?
This is true.
You're damn right.
This is true. This is true.
You do not have to be qualified
at all
to make money in music.
At all. At all.
On both sides too. On both sides. On both sides.
Hey.
Yeah, we
you
preach
know
it now.
what's hella crazy? You don't really understand. Like when you coming up, you think everyone who's successful or in a certain position is because they're of a certain tier or quality. And when you meet people and you go on these labels and have these meetings, it be like, no way. But it starts to make sense. This is why the culture is in the state it's in.
Yes.
Right. You driving. It's some niggas that I see pull up. I ain't getting in that car. But
right.
You sign is like, bro, that's him.
You gotta ride with him once you sign. Yeah, you gotta ride with him. You gotta ride with him once you sign, and then now you in the car
with a nigga who can't drive.
With a nigga who can't drive.
Talking the talk.
This is why you were so important to us and why we wanted you on this show, bro.
Fine.
This is why I hit you. And I'm like, hey, and we was talking about some other shit too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nigga, you have to come to the podcast. Like, because what you're doing is so important and is honestly, bro, it's revolutionizing the industry.
Yeah.
Because the other part is that, which I love, bro, is that you can articulate it.
There's that.
You know what I'm saying?
It goes back to the beginning of this, like, nigga, I heard you speak before I heard you rap.
Right.
Sing. I heard you speak first.
Yeah.
And that was the goal for me.
Right.
The artistry was like, well, that was the explosions and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the foundation of it was here. That's what I got from you.
Because most creatives can't tell you why they're creative.
Right.
Or how they created it. They're just like, oh, you know, I just did the shit and then I dropped the music. And it's like, but, you know, there were steps, right?
Can't replicate it.
They can't redo it over and over and over because they don't know what happened.
They don't know what happened.
They don't know what happened.
For real. You ever seen a nigga lift up the hood and scratch his head? That's a nigga. It's like, give me my keys back, nigga. Give me my goddamn keys back. Nigga. I already know what you finna do.
Hey, nigga, that's the music business in a nutshell.
Oh,
nigga
God.
lifting up the hood and scratching.
Give them back. Put my shit back on.
So you say, how long it's been making that sound?
So you dip this.
Okay. All right.
Right. That's the game right now.
I gotta call somebody.
That is absolutely.
Come here. We got.
That's the game, bro. They have marketing meetings. We get pitched marketing stuff sometimes. Like we just laugh, but they have marketing meetings on how to like replicate what we do, and they don't understand. We do what we do because we are who we are. You can't replicate authenticity.
Yeah.
Like it can't. You can't just do it and it happens for you.
I'm gonna give you an example. Right. We had a viral moment some years back with a record for Tank called When We. What they didn't understand is that he had already tapped into this space where he was already connected to the dance community. I mean, first he's married to a professional dancer. You know what I mean? His wife has toured the world and done the whole thing. So he already had an insight to this whole dance community and what they were doing and how they would take songs and they would teach classes to these songs and all this, like, and to the point where he was showing up to their classes.
Genius.
Right? And then it was reciprocated by these young ladies who grabbed the record and killed it.
Took it up.
Right? Took it up. So we took it a step further. We said, oh, when he's seen doing this, those girls will be with him.
Yep.
So we found them, put them on the show, put them on the Soul Train Awards with him. It went up, all these crazy things, right? Then from the business and the management side, I start getting phone calls from labels. Hey, we got this song. You think
Those
girls. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know that you can't just manufacture that? This has all been put in place by multiple things that had to align.
Yeah.
But you can manufacture
But in
it,
their
it just
mind-
don't feel the same.
You know, goddamn.
And now but it also feels manufactured.
it has no. It don't stick.
But you know what's crazy?
it's-
The masses don't really care if it's manufactured or not. And that's what I found out they aim for. They don't aim for the people who know it's fake. They aim for the people who don't care that it's fake.
Okay, well, in your opinion, is that as sustainable though? To market to the
Well,
people
I
who
think,
don't care.
I
if it's-
think from big business standpoint, they don't mind
not about
the quick
sustainability.
hits and moving on to the next hit because
Okay.
they're gonna bet on so many of them.
Their thing
okay.
is like, if I can make 10 million right now, I'm not going to wait for this thing to make me 50. I'll take this 10 and make another 20. And then I'll take
Right.
this 20 and make. So for them, it's like,
it's a numbers game.
yeah.
It's a numbers game.
And they
And-
got the capital to bet.
But they're
that many.
but they're
Exactly.
doing that with people's livelihoods.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's where now
Yes.
it gets tricky.
Yep.
Right? Because like you said, what about the artist that you dumped this budget into that didn't even want to do that dumbass shit that now has to come back and pay that back if it don't work?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it may not even really be them, or it may not even really be what their brand is, right? Like LaRussell is a brand. There are certain things that you have solidified that represent you. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a reason why your label is called Good Company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really put your pennies in this thing,
You heard?
right? Like, but the average executive won't even look at that.
Because they don't have the same investment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't have the same life on the line. Like they check come every 2 weeks,
Exactly.
regardless.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they have a you know, they got their stock options and their severance pay and all of these things. Like, you know, you get fired from these types of positions, you land softly.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, with our lives on the line,
Ain't no soft
Nigga.
landing.
nigga, ain't no soft landing.
Ain't no soft
Right.
And so I think, you know, artists need to, or all creatives, regardless of how you're going about it, whether it be building or independence, you're going to need to be a LaRussell. Whether you're in that building or you're doing it on your own.
on your own.
You have to understand how this shit works, and you have to have a mind of filling in the gaps where needed, filling in the spaces and understanding where the fuck they are.
And you have to, like, even if you go major, like, for the system to really work for you, you have to have your own system in place.
Yep.
That's why we see so many whoop, whoop, because it's like they don't even have a
know
system
what
that
to
allows
do.
them
Right.
to keep having moments and
Right.
keep making things happen.
Yeah.
And labels want those kind of artists. Like when they take the TikTok hit niggas, it's like, we get this quick bag, but they really want the niggas who can't do it. But the niggas who can do it is like, I ain't doing that deal. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's like it's a void, you know?
Tell me when you for you your because you said you didn't seek out chasing independence or a deal or anything. You were just doing what you do, right? And tell me when you realized that me as indie is 100% the way that I'm going to go with this. What is the moment that defines that for you?
when I had got like the Rock Nation offer and kind of dealt with that situation, it was really kind of disheartening to me, like how I perceived it all, to where I was like, man, if Hove handling me in this capacity, then I ain't gonna, you feel me? It was like, I'll just kind of ride. It don't even really make sense, because I felt like this is a situation where this a nigga who's us, one of us coming in. So I'm like, this is gonna be handled, with a certain level of care, especially being me who I was. So when it wasn't, and I felt opposite, it was really like, man, we just gonna rock. And it's been that since. And we have our meetings and we do, distro deals and shit like that. But for the most part, if it don't make sense, I can do everything. Like, we really figured it out. And it's like, even having a radio team, like getting to the point where you could pay for radio promotions and shit. But at the point where it's like, I've embraced everything as I don't need it. If I get it, I'm grateful for it, but I'm going to keep on going.
It doesn't stop
you. Ain't never got to play me on the radio. Everybody still know me. It's some artists who on the radio every day, and if we walk down the same street, you're going to say, LaRussell.
Right.
And you're going to be like, who with you? And they on the radio every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, yeah. I really, we just was like, man, we're going to take this in stride and we're going to really build something that people can't ignore.
Yeah. No, you really are for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, bro. Like, you have created a space and a brand that people connect to.
At a human level.
At a human level.
At a human level. It ain't even about having their favorite song or jingle. It's just on some human shit.
Well, 10s, 20s, 50s is my that's
you
my
heard?
shit. That's
you
my
heard?
shit. You know what I mean? That's my shit. Right? You know what I mean? That's my favorite. You know what I mean? But I get it. I completely understand even more now, right? That you're sitting with us and just listening to you. It all makes sense, bro. Yeah. It all makes sense. And I think the reason I wanted you to come here too, though, because and Tank will tell you this, I'm a person that I read comments, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I see sometimes when people don't get it. Like, I'll read your comments. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, they don't get it. Like,
they can't see it.
They can't see it. Like, they're confused on what he's saying, or they trying to like put some type of ego. Mm-hmm. Oh, he should have just. Well, one, you've never been in this situation. So you can't just say what the next person should have done, and you don't know. And in these clips, you can't fully grasp
the magnitude
of that, of the person that maybe you looked up to that, damn, you thought it was going to be different. And you're like, okay, well, you know what? This going to put me in an overdrive in a whole nother place. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to focus my attention here, which for me, I look at it and I'm like, oh, that was God telling him you on the right path with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Nothing against whoever offered you anything.
Yep.
Yeah. But no. Your path is this.
That was confirmation.
Yes.
Yep.
That was like, let me show you what this is. And so you can say no on your own. I already needed you to say no, but I'm gonna throw something at you that's gonna make it impossible for you to roll.
And it took me so much to grow and understand that, like, it was never a personal attack from anyone who's ever offered me anything. They just wanted to assist in a way that they could assist. It just wasn't a way that worked for me. And getting to that point and you start to understand, like, I'm so happy none of it worked out because I ended up here. If I would have gotten that venue with ease, I wouldn't have built the backyard.
Right.
If I would have got one of them deals early, I wouldn't have did all this and allowed people to buy shares in my songs and allow people to buy gold cards and allow people to get paid royalties off of records for the first time ever. This is the first time ever a fan could get paid off of a song they play in their car every day.
Right.
That wouldn't have happened if I would have signed and I didn't have stake and ownership of how my music is being released and could allocate that. Yeah. So I'm grateful for it all. I realized it was no knock. It was no knock. Everybody just did the best that they could, and the best that somebody could do may not be what's best for you.
Yeah. Can we speak on the gold penny I mean, on a good penny gold card.
Come on. Yeah, so
let's speak on the perks of that, because that's what credit cards were built on. The perks, right? It's a reason why it's a reason why you use certain cards more than others. You're like, oh, well, this gonna help me get flights. This gonna help me. Who we shouting out?
Shout out to Delta.
Okay.
They now have Shake Shack in first class starting December 1st.
Yeah.
Those are the perks.
The perks.
As a 360 member, I just had
Come
to
on.
say that. Okay.
I'm more with the John and Vinny's, but I respect the Shake Shack too, though.
You gotta respect the cheese fries. You gotta respect the cheese fries.
On the plane.
On the plane.
It's a little thing.
It ain't a long flight
on the plane.
So let's talk about the gold card that you got. You know what I mean?
Hey, so I started the first ever artist membership with the gold card, and I just wanted to give people an opportunity to buy into me perpetually. The people who seen the value in what I was building and was going to be around. It was like, I do so many shows a year. If you really love me, you're going to want to see me, but I didn't want you to have to pay every single time. So it's like, I'm going to set this membership and I let people invest. And early, some people got a gold card for like $100 and they been to 20, 30 shows. They would have spent thousands with me. And the gold card is perpetual. So when I'm doing an arena one day, if you got one of them, you just pull up. Hey, let me in. Yeah. Whatever seats you want. The backyard shows, they be sold out. Now that you got a gold card, you still in there.
You still get in.
Man, they get first dibs and free tickets, and that's like the main perk of being a gold card member. Is like you have access to me, like shows that would be hundreds of dollars, so whatever, you have this access. But beyond that access, some of the gold card members, they got my direct line. Like I'll go play pickleball with their families and go hang out when I'm in certain cities. Like it's real community that's built. Yeah. On top of that, I add them to a royalty list. So sometimes I'll be releasing music and I got extra and I just be like, yeah, let me allocate some here. So you'll get a random split in something that's just like, just something for being invested in LaRussell.
Oh, nigga, that's amazing. That's amazing, bro.
Nigga, that's great.
Let me shake your hand,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm buying a gold card.
So to be a member, to get a gold card, what do you charge for it?
It's offer based.
Oh.
What's it worth to you?
Okay.
So
is there a bottom?
So people make offers.
But you get to decide if you want to accept the offer.
And it's been scaling. So like I said, my very first gold card, some people was getting them for $100. And it's like, they've been to 20 shows.
Is that $100 flat fee that they just have one?
Flat. So the gold card is a one time. So as I scale, that price goes up, of course, because it's like, I can't do them for $100 no more. It's more invested. But I select the range. You feel me? People put an offer for what it's worth. What is a lifetime of shows worth? Yeah. So every day we get offers and I go through and it's like, I don't feel like that's accommodating for what I'm building anymore. Or it's like, I fuck with that. Let's do it.
Can you speak on how high an offer has been?
I've gotten $5,000 for a gold card.
Oh, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing, bro.
You heard me? Yeah. And I think right now, currently, we got like 140 members that's on the gold card side. So, yeah.
That is so cool.
You know what's really dope, too? Ebro was one of my first gold card members.
Fuck out of here.
Shout out to Ebro, man.
He seen what I was doing. When I first announced it, he was one of the first offers.
Yeah. People think he's from the East Coast. He really from Northern Cali.
You heard?
Yeah.
He supported early and copped that. So we did the gold cards, and then I do royalties. I allow people to buy a percentage of royalties from songs because I was just like, I love Crocs, and I bought so many. I was like, man, it'd be crazy to be able to get paid every time I buy a pair, and you could buy stock in Crocs, but that's not the same as like supporting this thing and you get paid residuals from it. So I was like, imagine if you could be able to invest in the song you love. Like you play this song every day on your way to work, but you don't never get to make no paper from it. I opened the door to where now you can. It's some people who bought stock in 10s, 20s, and bags. Like, I just can't hear you say 10s, 20s my shit. It's somebody getting paid every time you play your shit that's not LaRussell. Just because they believed in it and they thought that too.
Why? Where are you sitting? Nigga, what are you smoking? Like, what's going on where you say, nigga?
Well, he said first he had the Crocs.
He had the Crocs. I'm going to just get niggas some royalties, nigga.
Man,
why?
I did a project called Cook Together, Eat Together. And I was like, man, it would be really dope to give people splits who just supported me through this journey. I didn't charge or nothing. I just gave them away to a whole bunch of people who used to comment, who came to early shows, who just was like, man, we fuck with you. I just showed love. I gave hella different people splits and that because I was already giving my team splits. And it was like, yeah, you get this % for this. And I always have a remainder. And I'm like, I don't need all this. Let me, share some wealth. And then it got to the point where that was so dope and people was like, wow, this is new and innovative. It was like, bro, these are sellable assets. Every song I make, I got 100%. And I could sell every % one by one.
Stock.
I got 35 albums. Every time I make a new song, you could go put an offer in and say, I love that song so much. Right. I want this % of it. Can I get it for this? And I counter and say, here, you can have it for this. And now you getting paid perpetually off your favorite song. That ain't never existed.
Yeah. You really are a Fortune 500 company. Yeah. It's so crazy, man, because it's just something completely different. But you remind me of an OG we had. It was one of my father's really close friends. And was super business minded, but you couldn't see it on him. Right? And I don't know if you do that purposely, where you just like, yo, I'm just vibing, I'm chilling. Someone doesn't just see you and go, oh, he got 35 albums. Oh, you don't wear it on you, right? And crazy enough, this guy was one of the biggest hustlers ever in San Francisco, who most niggas in San Francisco don't even know him to this day. His name was Robert Dees. He was one of my daddy's best friends.
Crazy.
And I didn't really know how rich he was until he got married and he brought out the Lamborghini as a gift to his wife. And this was in the 80s.
Oh, he was getting money.
He was having.
What?
He was having.
Long paper. But it was very, I'm the everyday man. But his was, he was getting his money in a different way at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The statute of limitations is, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, bro, talking to you. And even dog, you remind me of him so much.
Fire.
And I'm like, damn, bro, this nigga's Robert D. Because I know you can get a Lamborghini. I know you can get a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? I know you can. But you choose not to. Yeah. Because you have chosen to continue to scale your business, to build up all the things that you're doing. Man, and it's like, but you hiding in plain sight.
I ain't hiding at all.
Exactly. When I'm watching him and I'm like, nigga, he's like, yeah, I'm putting on the VIP wristbands. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm at the door. I'm meeting him at the door.
Right.
That's taking me to church. The pastor greeting. Yeah. He's greeting the sheep. Come on in. It's gonna be a beautiful Sunday.
That's how every show is sold out. With half recurring fans, half new. I got people who come to, like I say, 20, 30 shows. I've seen the same people. You don't go to it. Once you experience the show, most people is like, you don't never go again because you're like, I seen it. But my show is different every time because there's no set. People see me every time. It's like church. And I'm outside. Once the doors open, before the show, I'm walking around, taking pictures, greeting. After the show, I'm out. I done stood outside until the sun went down. You feel me? Like I'm fully invested in what I'm building and the people who support me.
Yeah. I want to talk about team building, right? Because as you start talking infrastructure and building up around you, these are people who have to believe the way you believe and have to be willing to sacrifice the way you're sacrificing. What are those early conversations like? And then you alluded to like giving your team interest in your songs and stuff like that. Like what are those conversations like?
I make it easy to believe in me because I'm going to do everything with or without you. So like I was always pushing this line, and throughout the journey, all my homies that's around me, it's like, if you coming to hang, I'm pressing shirts. So if we gonna hang, you might as well go on and press the shirt. Yeah. If you coming to hang, I'm finna be filming. So if you gonna hang, you might as well come film. This what I'm on. So, so early it was really like all of my homies just embracing what I was doing. I always had ideas flowing. You can't really hang around me without being integrated. Like My daughter's mom, Yaya, all of my first company logos was us drafting logos together and writing scripts and everything, because it's like that's what I'm on. So if you around me, just naturally you take that on. And early on, like, we ain't had no paper, so it was like I needed everybody to help me, but it's like I can't really pay you. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna buy food. I'm gonna make sure everybody eat. If you need gas, I'm gonna give you gas so you can get here to and from. I'm gonna make it as easy as possible for you to support me. And then I came up, it was like, man, I'm finna give everybody shares. If you help me shoot a music video and people watching that with my song in it, I'm gonna give you a percentage in the song, because I know that they listening to the song because they seen that video and they loved it.
Yeah.
My directors, my engineers, my producers, my homie, and my management admin, if you touch a project that I worked on, you getting something. So it's like, if I can't pay you up front, let me pay you perpetually. And that might not equal nothing now, but I know where I'm going and who LaRussell gonna be. Yeah. And there's gonna be a point where you don't have to work today because of work you did 5 years ago.
That's a great trade-off. If you truly believe in somebody.
If you truly believe in somebody. It's an exceptional trade-off.
Yeah.
Right? So that was my way of really getting people in to rally around early. And like I say, I'm the person who I'll run out the booth, hit record, run back in, do my own thing. I'll hit record on camera, go to the front. All of my early live sessions, I was working with a bunch of different artists. They didn't even know I did music. Some artists' introduction to me was me behind the camera just telling them, hey, this how we run this to play. Yeah. They ain't even know until I went viral, when it's like, bruh, that was you. Yeah, I'm behind it. I play whatever role is necessary to get a W. Still till this day. My little homie Malachi, I'm gonna sit aside, let him eat. This is his turn. I never mind sharing my platform and my space. I just want to get a W.
Do you think it's important for, I mean, me, myself, like I would tell my daughter, I say, you know, I want you to sing. I want you to use your gifts, but I also want you to understand how it all works, so that when it comes to articulating what you need and what you want and the vision of a thing, you know exactly who needs to be where in order to accomplish that thing. And I feel like more artists need to understand more than just being an artist. Like they have workshops, like at some of the acting schools, right? Where, I think it was at my daughter's school. It was where you have to play a part. You have to play every part in the production. So you don't just get to be an actor,
right?
At some point, you have to be part of the glam squad. At another point, you got to be part of wardrobe. Another point, you got to be part of lighting. Another point, you got to be behind the camera. Like, you being very hands-on with all of those things, I think makes it a lot easier for people to follow you.
Yes.
Because
they
your
respect
boots are
me
on
differently.
the ground.
Man, and I think every artist is different, and if like you're not going to be that, make sure you have someone in your team who is. But I've been able to like do what I do because everyone who's on my team, I taught how to do their role. Like I didn't have anyone who had experience coming from the game. Everyone who's on my team, we learned it together because I had to do it. I edited album covers. I did the photo shoots. I've edited videos. I direct video. I still edit posts and schedule posts, and I administer my own public. I go in and submit my shit myself. I've done every role, so it's like no one who can come in and tell me, "Oh, we can't get that done." You can't get that done. I can get that done. Right. So if you can't, you in the wrong spot. I need somebody who can get it done because I could get it done. But I can't. I wouldn't have that respect and be able to speak like that if I didn't have that experience. But I think you doing every role gives you a certain respect for different people. I don't walk into a building and not greet everyone from the janitor to the president because I've been a janitor before. I'm not going to walk past you because I've been one of them and I was walked past. I've been the president too. So I don't need you to give me a certain level of reverence because I've been that too. You feel me? If you don't do every role, you don't have the same respect and value for the people in those roles to give them what they need to do it successfully. I can't nurture you if I don't know how.
What is success for LaRussell?
Man, I think I'm living it every day. You know, I go do stuff like this, and I get to go home, and I get to go see my child, and I get to go to the school and see the kids, and I get to see my parents, and I get to help out my family, and I get to wave in a new generation of talent, and I get to see my homies in positions that they've never been in. Like me and T both start. T is from Clear Lake. I'm from Vallejo. Most people don't know what those two cities are. There was no resource, no infrastructure there. You walked out and you was like, man, I know you. I see you. That ain't never occurred. Like, these are experiences that we are beyond grateful for, that we really sit in. So I'm living in, like, success for me is this, being able to show up as myself and be valued and appreciated as myself. We start doing like daily shows because I was telling the homies, I was like, man, I just want to get paid to live. I don't want to have to rap and perform. I don't want to have to dance. I want to get paid to be LaRussell. So let's just document LaRussell and share the moments that we think is special. And people going to pay me to be me, not to do a specific thing. Some rappers don't get interviews and podcasts because they can't come speak. You just want to see them rap. If they ain't rapping, the opportunities is gone then. You feel me? So for me, the success is being able to show up as myself every day and being able to monetize that.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, no, that's great.
The singer girl is crazy that you had on time.
Is it Shantae?
Is that her?
Yeah.
No, she was
Monster.
Cooking. Yeah, she was cooking.
She
was cooking.
Shantae's another, like, my ears and eyes. You know, some days I'll be like, man, I need to take a job at the label just so I can have the opportunity to give infrastructure and change what the culture looks like, because I could see it and hear it. We found Shantae. I was shooting a live session for another artist and she was singing background. And I was like, nah, you need to be on one here. She did her session that day. I was like, I'm finna hit you this week. I'm gonna call you Uber, come to the crib. We did a whole EP in that day. Helped write all the songs. I mixed everything myself, recorded everything, released it. It landed on a decent sized playlist. Start moving. Start building her buzz and her energy. Snoop Dogg reposted the live, said way before he even knew who I was. Just off that work. I put so much time, investment, energy, and money and work into her because I seen it and I felt it. And as a reason, she whipped me on Tiny Desk. From then, it's like I just have to. When I see something special, I gotta help in whatever way I can. And I can't do everything, but I'm always do something.
Yeah. Speaking of Tiny Desk, I want to thank you.
What I do?
That's my nephew that plays saxophone for you.
T-On?
Yeah.
What?
That's my nephew, man. That's my nephew. That's my nephew, Trey.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I didn't say his real name out here, but just T-On.
You know, yeah.
But this, like, that's family. Like, so to see him, I remember the day he picked up the saxophone.
Yeah.
I remember his grandmama Diane. You know what I'm saying? Taking him to little jazz clubs and
wow.
You know what I mean? And him, this becoming a career for him. You know what I'm saying? And to see him on Tiny Desk was like one of my proudest moments, bro, because I remember, you know, when they would come to LA, because I was already out here. And I remember going to like a Grammy camp that he played in high school.
Wow.
To now seeing this.
Yeah.
It's amazing, bro.
That's dope.
It's
right?
amazing.
Everyone played with Juvie.
With Juvie, bro, in the backyard.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother legendary moment. Richie Rich blowing out his knee in the backyard.
Culture.
Like, it's crazy. The
Yeah.
things that you've been able to set up, man, and put together for the crib, one, for yourself, absolutely. But just even for the crib, man, of how you have brought this really positive spotlight on home.
Yeah.
It really means something to me. You know what I mean? Because, you know, everybody that would find out my background over the years would always be like, nigga, what the fuck? When they start really finding out what I came from and really what the Bay is, right? And we know it because we grew up in it and, you know, we experienced all of it. So for me, I always wanted to do things in a certain manner so that I was a representation of a light that came from home.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of shit going on, right? So to see you now as a young artist who has fully brought people to your backyard and shown this very positive thing, man, like, I can't thank you enough.
Gratitude.
Like, it makes me feel good to see, like you said, people flying from around the world, artists that we never, like, bro, we know what Cash Money 99 to the 2000 mean to the Bay Area.
Oh, God.
And we know about that legendary concert that got turned upside down back in the days. You know what I'm saying? To now him being in your backyard and it being so much love and appreciation.
And what's crazy is people don't understand like the sacrifice it takes to make culture happen and represent it in this way. I love it so much. Like Juvie was in the backyard because they was coming to Frisco. And I was like, man, I told his manager.
Shout out to Dame too. Shout out to Dame.
Yeah,
That's my young guy.
I told his manager, I said, I'll do the Frisco show with you. You could throw me on the bill. I don't need no money. Just have Juvie come to my backyard.
Yeah.
I do shows at home and I could make, you know, what I make easy. But it was like, sacrifice that because I know this moment is special. Just give me that. And we end up rocking and selling out midway. You feel me? I didn't get no paper from that because it didn't matter because I knew what we was going to build. But just for these cultural moments to exist, it's like I put whatever I got to put on the line so people could experience this because we don't have 106 in Park no more. Right. We don't have Rap City, the basement. Right. We don't have nothing that truly represents us and our culture and how we be outside. Right. You can't look on TV now and see us. Not in our form. Yeah. You can see us fighting and shouting and doing and all this other shit, but you can't see us in our form being godly and rock how we rock. Why? We bringing it back.
No, you've brought it back.
You heard?
You brought it back. And not even just even bringing it back. Like you've brought, just like I said, a different light. You know what I mean? Like people that come from my generation and era of the Bay Area, there were a lot of artists who wouldn't even come to the Bay.
Yeah.
They would skip it over.
Right.
Because shit was happening. Niggas was trying to get at them. Like, niggas are coming to your backyard, bro.
That's different.
You know what it takes to get a nigga to come to your crib?
You know what it takes? Oh, God. We don't go to parties at houses.
What?
we ain't going. Oh, it's at your house?
Nah, I'm cool. No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be able to establish that, man, and make people feel so comfortable and feel like they were a part of it and they're part of your family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I watched the clips of like you and your mama in the garage, bro. Yeah. I've seen it. I've watched y'all talk about how y'all had to get the pressing machines and I'm like, dog, this is amazing. This is amazing. You talking about your daddy was hustling back in the day like the whole. Yeah. I get it. I understand it, bro. I get it. And you've brought the world to your crib, man.
Man. And that was my goal. Like I just wanted people to be able to witness humans in a way that we see them and interact with them every day. I'm a regular everyday nigga. Like I'm somebody you can go outside and see somebody just like. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like that representation was lacking. It was like, where's all the regular niggas that I grew up around that I see?
Where's the good time?
Where is that? Yeah. You know?
Like you be having kids there.
Demo 5 to 65. It don't exist. You can't go to no other hip hop show and get people from 5 to 65 of all different races.
Right.
I don't have a core demographic. You go into one of my shows, it look like it's like what the hell?
We are the world.
5 to 65 every race.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You're elevating you're elevating the stock and positivity and doing things the right way. Like it's not that you're by yourself, it's that people have been afraid to be it. And you're leading the charge. You're giving those people, those creatives, even those businessmen and women, you're giving them the hope that they need. You're giving them the gas that they need to step out into the forefront. People want to be light.
Yeah.
People want to be loved. People want to be positive. And sometimes they just need the right example.
You need to see it.
They need the right push.
You have to see it. You have to see it in your life, like represent it.
Representative. And so you're galvanizing certain troops and a certain thing that is making this world a really cool place, man.
Fire.
What's next for Good Company?
Man, we did our first, like, we're throwing festivals next year. So this year for my birthday, I was able to do Solano County Fairgrounds, which is the fairgrounds at my home. They haven't had a hip hop show there since the 80s, 90s. Like, this was the first time that we had people in there in that capacity. And now it's kind of opened the door. I've been really working with my city, meeting with city managers, meeting with the police, meeting with the fire, meeting with the council. Like, I had a council meeting at my house for all the upcoming council members. Like, I'm really integrated in my city. Yeah. So my goal next year, I'm doing even more residencies. I'm home all year for the most part, just building that community there and having people come in so we can experience what I've been able to experience when I come to LA. I used to think I was going to have to move because I didn't have infrastructure. So I'm building all the infrastructure so all of our artists can come back home and we can still get the same reverence and respect and still get the same opportunities, but we could do it at home. So my goal is really just we building all of that at the spot. I just wake up every day and I do my work, and whatever comes from that, I accept. You know, I don't really dream too far ahead.
No, that's great, bro. You really you created your own residency at your residence. It's amazing. Everybody's trying to get to Vegas. I'm going to Vallejo, nigga.
You heard? You heard?
When the summertime comes.
Hey, and what's beautiful about what we built, like all of our tickets is offer based, right? So I never wanted to charge people a certain, that's why it'd be hard for me to do like the deals with certain shows, because I never wanted to tax people for an experience that was priceless. Yeah. So when I started offer based, my average ticket price started at like $7.10. And it's just slowly scaled up and up. You know, there's going to be a point to where it's so in demand, and I don't scale up in venue. I keep doing small venues. Like, I sold out Fonda like 2 years ago, and I never went back to 1,000+ cap. So I keep it small so people.
What type of venues do you like to do as far as like cap wise for
like
you?
250, 300. Okay. Because I could really build a certain intimacy. 5 be cool too, but I could really build a certain intimacy how I do my show, and I could see everybody and I could speak to everyone. When it gets beyond that, it's just hard for me to really be able to give everyone the experience I would like to give them.
You start looking at the exit sign.
Right? Yeah. Right? It'd be too much. So I love the intimate shows because it's real. Everyone who leaves really feel like they had a moment with me, and I pull people on stage to give testimonies, and I give some people chances to rap and sing. It's just a different style of community I've been able to build through that. So I've been trying to keep it there, and it's built a demand within the price to where it's like, you know, I never wanted to charge people crazy, but with the offer-based system, some people just come straight in. They like, I want 150 for a ticket. And it's like, that was my dream to be a top tier artist that's worth that, but I never want to tax somebody that. So it's like I do shows and some people get in for $10 and some people pay $1,000, and it's such a beautiful thing because the people who pay $1,000 don't have an issue with it because they know their $1,000 allows somebody to get in here for $1. I had a show one time, I passed the mic around and bro was like, man, I paid $1 to get in this show. I'm going through the roughest time in my life. I would have never been able to see nobody else for $1. Wow. And it just was like, I can never change that. Like, that's what makes it so special. It's like, I can't do everyone for $1, but I get to integrate those in. I get to do a big melting pot of people who would never get an experience. When I was young, coming up, I didn't go to live shows. Yeah. Right. I didn't get those experience and opportunities, but I give people that chance now to maybe experience something that might be life-changing for an amount that makes sense for them in their life.
But you are a real representation as a child of hip hop. Yeah. Because J. Cole, Dollar in the Dream. Nipsey Hussle, Proud to Pay. Yeah. Like, these are things that have been that were started and implemented that you have grown into your own brand that is a part of you, or even, you know, Ryan Leslie with Superphone, where people could call him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all of the things that we've seen over time, you've implemented all of those into your brand and your business plans of really touching the people. Bro. Like you said, for one person in the crowd to, in a sense, man, take care of the tickets
for another 10 people.
Another 10, 20 people in the crowd. Because they can afford it. But then those other people that are just like, bro, I wouldn't have been able to see you. It's amazing.
Bro. And it's just like, I've I've really taken everything that once worked on the block and just added technology and infrastructure around it. When we younger, it's like, hey, this for 20, and bro, like, oh, I only got 15. Give me 15.
Give me 15.
But next time he see you, he gonna be like, man, I appreciate you for getting me right here.
Yeah.
50. You feel me? Out the trunk still work. Everything that once worked still works. It's just they've convinced everybody that has been rid of. And it's like, that's insane. I still go shake hands and do physical product and I'm still outside. That still work when people want what you got.
Yeah.
So the people who who ain't out there doing it no more is like, no, you don't stop that part. Like, add the digital aspect, but still get out there.
Yeah.
These people came to see you and you hiding backstage the whole show. How that makes sense? You know, you really have to, you got to get back to them roots if you want something that's rooted.
Yeah, because if you're a star regardless. You're a star regardless. It don't matter if you are a hidden star or somebody who's shaking every hand. And the person that showed me that was him. You know what I mean? If you go back on our careers, Tank was already Tank before I started working with him and managing him and being a part of the business with him. And I used to just remember, I'm like, yo, like, this nigga really shaking every hand. He's really signing every autograph.
Yeah.
He's really taking every picture. And nigga, we got to get on this flight. And every now and then I have to nudge him like,
right,
nigga, they about to close the door.
Right.
They gonna close the door.
But the people.
Oh God.
But the people.
Yeah.
Right? And it never dimmed his light. It actually brought a brighter light to him, in my opinion. Right? Where you have these certain artists that think in their mind, oh, they can't see me. Or they got to drive me up to the plane and then they got to put me on the plane after everybody's already.
Be ridiculous.
And it's like, actually, you know, the flight attendant is treating him better because he spoke to her.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Or they wait on that. You can take this quick picture once you get off this. Yeah, let's just.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
Bro, when we get people back conditioned to like humanity, it's like, yeah, you could be famous and all that, but you're a human, bro.
Yeah.
You're a human. Like, let's get on the basis level of that. Let's be on that first. Then you could be everything else. But on the check mark box, like, let's just be human first. It ain't no way you walked in there and you walk right past him and you see him there. You can't be that big. We the same height. You feel me? Like, we gotta be human.
Yeah. Nah, I love it, bro. I love it.
Oh, this guy right here.
What we got?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brother LaRussell.
Brother LaRussell.
What you're doing is amazing out here in these streets. Some would call it super. It's the Superman music. You're a brand man. You're a businessman. But you're a gift at heart. I want to know some of the music that has inspired you along the way. Here, we call that your...
What we call it?
Top 5. Your top 5.
Yeah. Come on.
Top 5. Your top 5. R&B singers. R&B songs. We've got to know before you go. Get on this show. LaRussell, let them know. Your top 5. Yes. Top 5.
Yeah.
Your top 5. Brother LaRussell, your top 5 R&B singers.
I don't necessarily have a top 5, but I'm gonna give 5 that's been really impactful on my journey.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Life Jennings.
Yeah.
Cause that album Must Be Nice and Stick Up Kid and She Got
you.
I know that whole
He is going to appreciate this right now.
God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That album
It means something.
it means something. And for this, Life, if you watching this, forget the desk. Come to the backyard.
Come to the backyard. Yeah.
We're gonna give you that moment that is deserving,
Absolutely.
that you earned and you worked for, and it's gonna be so culturally representative.
There it is.
Come to the yard and play with our homies, and just
I love
we need that.
I love that.
Outside of that, T-Pain, 3 Rings album.
Yeah.
They don't give T-Pain his credit.
He's a bad man.
That nigga
T-Pain, a bad man, from the songwriting to the singing to the
performance. His performance?
And
Top tier.
let's leave the performing and go to just human. I was on the road with Pain. I see him going to these places and greet and speak. I see him walk into his hotel through the street as a human.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can't, it's just different.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go Lauryn Hill. Miseducation.
Yeah.
One of the greatest albums ever.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest writers ever.
Absolutely.
I gotta go Michael Jackson.
You do.
It's only right.
you gotta go Michael Jackson.
He's
and then I'm gonna go Otis Redding. Cause Sitting on the Dock of the Bay is one of my favorite songs ever.
Interesting, young man.
Yeah.
Otis Redding.
Come on.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Your top 5 R&B songs.
It could all be so simple.
You might as well.
Yeah.
You know, we got, you know.
Yeah. But you rather make it hard. Yeah.
Amy Winehouse. Back to Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy Winehouse, Tears Dry on Their Own. Life Jennings, Must Be Nice. And then I'm going to do Jaheim. I'm not wilding out like I used to. I
changed for you.
Yeah. Jaheim, we need you in the yard too.
Get to the yard. Yeah.
I've been trying to go get all up. Come on.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
I love Jaheim. I like what you're doing, Dave. I like what you're doing. Let's build a Voltron. This is your super R&B artist. And we're gonna grab the specialties or the gifts from one artist, whoever, to build your super artist. So we're gonna get the vocal from somebody. We're gonna get the performance style from somebody, the styling from somebody, the passion from somebody. And then since you're a songwriter, who's gonna write for this artist? So if you're picking one vocal to build your super R&B artist, whose vocal would that be?
I'm going to go Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though.
I've never heard her sing anything that didn't sound exceptional. Like, she just say words and it's like.
But I mean, it makes sense, though. You the way you do, and it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
It makes sense. Performance style.
Chris Brown.
Might as well.
You're getting heavy early. Okay. All right. Styling.
I'm going to go Bobby Brown and Michael Jackson.
So
the Gumby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael Jackson with the low cut stretch pants
and the Giuseppe's. Come on. Come on.
With a Captain Crunch coat on up top.
Come on.
Yeah.
And the glove. You got
the glove. And the glove.
Listen, as I've never given credit to Michael as a stylist because hear me out.
My bad.
Because Michael Jackson himself is a style.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like he was dripping in fashions.
Yeah. He was fashion.
He himself was just a fashion, which is
you gotta be so iconic to become a thing. Like Michael Jackson was a human who we associate with as a product. Like for people to be like, oh, you doing the Michael Jackson, that's big. Like people be like, man, he played just like Jordan.
Right.
Niggas don't be like, no knock to anyone, but we don't be like, man, that remind me of Udonis Haslem. You know, like you can't
do that.
I mean, like in terms of like specific style, like he a monster, but in terms of like Jordan with the tongue and the shit, like to be,
of course,
for people to be like, bro, this is for you to become a product beyond your being.
Here's Jay's quote: "If they can be you for Halloween."
Yeah, it's what I said earlier.
Now imagine a nigga walking around with a Haslam Halloween costume on.
Why you keep doing Haslam like that? Why you keep doing you?
Did he foul you? He must have fouled you or someone on the playground. Hey, what happened, bro?
I love Haslam.
I do too. I love that nigga.
I was down there with the Heatles, man. That's my God.
If they could be you for Halloween.
No, for sure. And it's like when we were talking about earlier when you were saying, like you didn't, as a kid, you didn't even know that Snoop was really a human.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was like, yo, Snoop is a character. I just saw Snoop last week.
Yeah.
And it was Snoop.
Yep.
It was Snoop.
And I know Snoop.
But it's
Snoop.
It's still Snoop.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. And nigga,
God.
he came looking for me at the party. And I'm like, but nigga, you Snoop.
It's Snoop, nigga. Period.
Because when you have established
that iconic,
this being, this iconic being.
Yeah.
There's just certain things where you're like, that is Michael Jackson. That is Snoop. That is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're just things that just connect to that will stand the test of time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that, honestly, bro, I believe that there will be, that's the LaRussell. That's when a nigga is doing certain shit,
you know what's
niggas
crazy?
is gonna point it out.
There's niggas, like people come to the shows in Crocs.
Yes.
Like, I had an era where I was wearing cowboy hats. Niggas start pulling up the shows in cowboy hats. Whatever. That's the power, like influence.
Bro.
Whatever you own.
Be what you was on.
They just had the whole GQ Man of the Year thing, and the whole thing was Cowboys. And nigga, that's Beyonce. Beyonce kicked that off. Y'all can say whatever y'all want.
Kicked the whole door in.
She kicked that off.
Right.
And obviously, the way the universe works, shout out to Shabuzi and having the Tipsy record.
Yeah.
But Beyonce being Beyonce and saying, you know what, this about to be this Cowboy Carter.
It's the era.
Now it's just moving into a whole nother space where it's acceptable in that space. It's just like you said, and you don't make the croc, but the croc is connected to you.
You heard?
Yeah.
Things are connected to you. You know what I'm saying? You're not the first person to do a backyard book.
Right.
But your backyard is the backyard.
Your backyard is the backyard.
When people see other backyards, they like, that's the LaRussell shit. Right.
Come on, bro.
Right.
Here we go. The passion of the artist. The heart of the artist.
Bob Marley.
Yeah. Yes.
There's life on the line for it.
Yeah.
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 Every time.
Every time. Every time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's writing for this artist?
Me.
Come on. I was surprised you picked somebody else for passion. Even though I'm rolling
on my mama.
But like,
on my mama, I'm looking at him like if he say himself,
right.
I'm not gonna be mad at him.
Well, I knew I wanted to write the hits, so it was like, let me, I want the pub. You don't get
share it
pub
with
for
the
passion.
people. She can share it with the people.
Share with the people. You want to share with the people. All right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. What we
I ain't
got?
saying no names. I ain't saying no names.
Come on.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. Where you was, who you was with, what you did. Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
You gonna break that damn keyboard, man. We get another one.
Yeah.
So we had a very important part of the show, bro. The segment is called I Ain't Saying No Names. where you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up. The only rule to the game is you can't say no names.
No name.
It got like an industry story or just like
it's up to you.
Don't matter.
It's up to you.
I got some just yesterday. We was moving around all day, and my driver Tito, he a cool ass nigga. We met him on our trials here. Oh, my driver, right?
Yeah.
We met him on our trials here. And we was moving around, and we come out the building and hop in the truck, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And he was like, it's the food. And we looking around the car, there's no food in the car. And we were just like, the food that came out your ass. Like it was like the worst smell possible. Like Mally was behind me getting in the truck, and his whole face was like, what the fuck is that? That was like some recently funny shit that just had us dead.
So the nigga blamed the imaginary food?
That fool said it was the food. It was no food in the truck.
Just say you pooed it, bruh. Just give
it. It was a
All
bad.
you say, hey,
they had the windows
guys,
rolled up and everything.
Hey guys, give me a couple minutes, guys. Don't get in yet.
Oh, he was hotboxing himself.
Yeah, we had a good one on that.
Bro, how old are you, LaRussell?
30. I just turned 30.
Young legend.
Come on.
Young legend.
Yeah.
Young
Gratitude.
pioneer. Man, you're building, you're trailblazing, bro. And it's admirable at your age, your wisdom and your understanding, even beyond that, your application. Not just saying a thing, but doing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And leading by example. Like, crew, this is what we on. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
And if we don't know, we'll learn it together.
Yeah.
Like, let's build community. All of that is, you're going to live forever. You're going to live forever. Somebody is going to have an imprint, a LaRussell imprint.
The book of LaRussell.
On them
Yeah.
as they move forward in life.
Yeah.
And that's really the goal of all of this.
Right.
To leave something really good behind. And you're well on your way, man. And we salute you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
I know the Bay Area homie. He has an affinity for you. That's just
for real.
That's just out of this world, man. And like he said, thank you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, because this is not like, for us, you know, this right here is about you. It always is about who's sitting in that chair. And whoever's sitting in that chair, we learned something from.
Mm-hmm.
And for lack of a better word, we steal stuff from. Them ideas you got?
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna be pulling some LaRussells.
Come on.
Yeah, the difference is we'll shout you out.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh yeah, we got an R&B money card.
Hey, we gonna throw you some.
Right.
Hey, we gonna throw you some points too.
Yeah.
we gonna throw you some percentages.
Yeah.
You understand? But we are learning from you, King. So it is unlimited at this point, man.
Yeah, man. Keep going, bro.
Kill them.
Keep going.
Keep killing them, man.
What's the name of the book you wrote?
I wrote 2. So my first one was called.
Okay, I was just gonna say the one. Come on.
My first one was called The Bullshit We Tell Ourselves, and then my last book is called Limitless, and I'm working on the third.
The bullshit we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Hard truths.
Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta be tough when you're looking in that mirror. You gotta keep it honest.
Mm-hmm.
Can't lie to yourself.
Can't lie to you. You can lie to anybody else.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
There's no progress in those lies.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother pod. That's a whole nother segment. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
My name is Tank.
I'm jvalentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B.
Yeah.
And this has been the education of LaRussell.
Fire.